Hi guys, originally this update was a lot longer. It contained a lot of information about our delay into spring of 2015. It was like 25 plus minutes of us looking sad and making excuses. I'm so glad that we cut it down. Any information about that delay is available. I ended up doing a text update that kind of covers that and a whole lot of other stuff, including a chronological breakdown of Gen 1 from the time we decided to do it until present day. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. Some vital information in there and kind of a cool look at what we've been up to. Before we get into the rest of the vlog, before we do anything else, I have a crazy cool announcement to make. I've given a lot of thought about how to expand the world of Generation 1 beyond the comic and the Kickstarter. So independent from all of that, I have started writing short stories. And as of this second, as you're watching this, one of those short stories is already available. If you're not a backer, it's available on Amazon. There's a link in the description. If you are a backer, there's another update coming. It might already be there, and it has a link for your free download of that story. You can read it right now. It's got a super slick cover by Tim, art by Tim, designed by Lena, and the story's called Ghosts. I couldn't be more proud of it. It's a story that takes place on Earth prior to the comic. It's a direct prequel. It follows July and her family before they came to Mars. It sets up some of the core things that happen in the story. So anybody who's bummed out about the delay can start getting into the story right now. It's super exciting. Go check it out. Like I said, free to every Gen 1 backer. If you're not a Gen 1 backer, go buy the story. It's super cheap. Share, tell your friends, write a review. Write a review on Amazon. That's actually the best way that you can help us. My plan is to expand the story with some more prequels. I'd like to get at least one more done before the release of the comic, and then after the comic comes out, I'll start releasing some stories that actually take place after the events of the comic. We are super excited about this development, and who knows what else is on the horizon. Oh, one last thing. If you guys don't know what All Hallows Read is, check it out. It is an awesome tradition where you give scary books to people around the Halloween season. It's great for writers, great for readers, great for people. Neil Gaiman has some great information about it. You can go to allhallowsread.com. We got links in the description and in the updates. Please participate in that for no other reason than because scary stories are awesome. Without further ado, let's get going. That was it? What? Oh! Okay, we gotta get some more stuff, because that was... Okay, that might be enough. Oh, gosh. It's gotta be more than that! Ah! 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 Oh, that's amazing! Ow! I'm getting me mad! Ow! What the crap? Somebody just punched me in the face! Ugh. This Gen 1
It's going so good.
Good.
It's there's just challenging.
Challenges.
It's such the technical aspect is.
It's very, you know, that's one of the challenges. This is the technical aspect.
Yeah, you know, cultural lags and whatever.
You have to. You don't want to lag culturally, so you need to read other comic books backwards and upside down because you gotta know them that well. The main thing is just producing the pages. It's more time consuming than I thought and than Tim thought, and I'm actually going to let him talk a little bit about the process and kind of what's taken so long, so you guys know that we're not sitting on our hands. We're working very hard. We're doing our very best. Oklahoma.
We're oh man, I have no idea how to say this in a positive way. We really appreciate you guys, and it has been such a confidence booster to have so much positive support behind us. I'm 27 years old, and I have never had a crazier year. One unexpected thing was that we lost our grandfather this year, and he was I was really close to him. I spent so many summers with him working on his farm, cutting musk thistles and cedar trees in his pastures to earn money to go out and buy a GameCube. And I was really close to him. So if you look closely in the comic, there's an old man wearing overalls and a John Deere hat. I wanted to talk a little bit about my artistic process and kind of what goes into that. Normally, for a professional comic book illustrator, they have one job. If you're a penciler, so you get your pencils done, and then that goes off to someone who's an inker. after that, some artists prefer to have someone who will flat the background, someone who will highlight different areas and just kind of put a blanket color underneath those inks. After the flatting, that's when the coloring really starts to take shape. So, depending on how many objects there are in a panel, I've had up to 20, somewhere between 20 and 30 layers in each panel, just because, you know, you've got objects in the background, you've got the ground, you've got the environment, you've got smoke, you've got light, you've got the people and their inks and their pencils and their helmets, all on different layers. Man, it sounds kind of boring. Anyway, each page is taking somewhere between 15 to 20 hours, and trying to find that kind of time working a full-time job and with a wife and 2 young boys at home it's challenging but rewarding. The worst time is when I'm reading the script. I just feel like strangling Steve so many times when I'm reading. It's like huge panel. I'm like, dang it! There's a crowd. Dang it! Such a small word. Outside in front of the base. No! So it like. So I get really angry, and the whole time I'm drawing, I'm like, this stinks. This just stinks the whole time. And then after I'm finally finished with the page, I'm like,
When Tim realized he wasn't going to be able to do the page load that we originally thought, I threw around a bunch of different ideas, but I didn't want to delay, and so we hired another artist to cover the Halloween issue. We'd met him at C2E2 in 2012. Incredibly nice guy with a very beautiful portfolio and a cool style that we thought would complement Tim's well. I got him the Halloween script in May, and by August we still didn't have the first page. And Yusuf isn't the kind of guy to share a lot about his personal life with acquaintances or coworkers or bosses or whatever I am to him. And I think there were some difficult things going on that I wasn't aware of, and so he was not able to produce those pages, and I eventually had to make the call to remove him from the project. I wish him all the best. Whatever difficulties he's going through, I hope that he can resolve those, because I love his work and I want to see him succeed. Losing Yusuf did put us in a difficult position, because we needed to find an artist on kind of late notice.
It's been really wonderful that Steve, on top of everything else he's been doing, writing and then like leading, directing the Kickstarter and interacting with everyone, being the public face of all this. He's been doing so much already, but he's decided to step up and help with the Halloween issue. Now, something you got to know about Steve is that when I was growing up, Steve was the artist, and I used to make him so mad. Like, he'd work really hard on something, and then I'd be like, oh, I love this picture, and so I look at it and try and do exactly what he did, and it was really good motivation for me to have a big brother that was an artist. But this project has really stretched him, and I just from the time that he committed to doing it till now, when he's illustrating the comic or the Halloween issue, it's amazing how much he's improved, and he has this dark and kind of gritty, spooky style that really reminds me of the illustrations in the first version of the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Accidental transitions while cutting the Gen 1 vlog. Here we go.
I think I saw
Steve.
So Steve put his pencil to paper mid-July, and he wasn't incredibly happy with his work here. So, did a lot of extra work and practice. By the end of the month, he came up with that. That's a pretty fair improvement for just a handful of days.
I'd draw just the black and white on paper, and then I'd scan it in and add this tone paper texture in the background, and then go in and add these highlights to kind of make certain areas pop. That was the first test that I did on actual Gen 1 related material. Here's just a quick test that I did that was kind of to try a different background, a little bit more of a noir style.
I don't have any experience with noir stuff, so I don't. People have said that his style reminds them of noir type comics.
I don't know if you can see this, but this one is just a shot of a really extreme angle down a guy's nose, and here's his eyes in shadow. But I actually used a human handprint as the background. I was just going crazy and trying to decide on a cool style to do the Halloween issue in. This one was one of the first ones that I was really happy with. I added like an old aged paper with like canvas, and this is not a baby, it's a doll's head. That'd be one creepy looking baby. Here's a very thinly veiled early attempt at a capsule design, also on the aged paper. It's based on SpaceX's Dragon capsule, but it will resemble it less than it does here. There's that one, and there's no toned paper background here. It's just, this one's just on paper and touched up. Here's one more that I did of a kind of a beach landscape scene, just trying some new things out. I'm just going to keep practicing. I'm going to keep working hard and try to make it as good as I possibly can. And then here's my first test page to kind of show you what the comic would actually look like. The heavy shadows, the high contrast, and then the aged paper and sketchy look, trying to create a kind of a creepy atmospheric mood. I hope that you like what I come up with. Sometimes they say if you want something done right or done at all, you have to do it yourself. Well, I'm gonna.
But I'm really excited to be working alongside him, and from an artistic standpoint, it brings back a lot of good memories, and I think you're really gonna love the stuff that he brings to the table. Every time he submits something new, I'm just like, dang it! Why do I even what? Because he's so good. I sound like I'm lying. Everything I say sounds like I'm lying. I'm sincere. I'm sincere. I like his stuff, and it's gonna be really refreshing to have both of our styles, because they're two very, very different styles. So you'll have your anime Americanga from my style, and then like this spooky, ethereal, nebulous. Let's think of some more synonyms here. Noir style from Steve, and I think you're really going to enjoy the difference. It's going to complement the story a lot.
Lots of cool stuff, lots to look forward to. We love you guys. Thanks for being patient with us throughout all these bumps and difficulties. I said on the Facebook page a while back that it's been the craziest roller coaster ride of my life, and that's true. Just the hills have been steeper and the loops more thrilling, and it's just been amazing, and we thank you all for taking this crazy ride with us. It means the world, both of them.